Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And in this video we're going to be making this clean and simple card with these beautiful leaves that are in this two-step stamping set, Gourd Goodness, from the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. So to get started, let's look at the paper we're going to need. I'm going to need some fresh fig cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5, a piece of the In Color Patterns Designer Series paper stack. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, a piece of Whisper White cardstock that we'll be stamping on, and this is cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4, and that's going to layer on top of that designer paper piece. And then you need at least 3 inches by 1/2 to stamp the sentiment, but I just have this long scrap piece that I'm going to use, and that gives me plenty of room in case I need to restamp. Okay, let's get started. Let's take this and fold it in half, matching corner to corner, and get our bone folder and give it a good crease. Now we're going to be able to go ahead and attach our Designer Series paper to the top, leaving a bit of a border around the edge. Goodness, let me see if I can get, there we go. I'm just putting a little fast fuse. That's what I have on my desk, so I decided to use it. You could use snail for this or our liquid multi-purpose glue. Okay, so now that's ready. Let's set it aside and let's work on our stamping. I have both of the stamps mounted, and they are two-step stamping stamps. One is more of a solid image. One is more of a detailed outline image here, and so I have both of those ready to go. And I'm going to start with Crushed Curry and ink that up. The solid one, the one that's more solid, and I'm going to stamp off over here on a piece of scrap paper because I want a lighter tone of that ink, and then I'm just going to stamp it here on my cardstock and lift. Now I'm going to take the detailed or the outline image, ink that up in Crushed Curry, and go full strength over top of the previous leaf. Hoping I'm not getting my head in there in the camera. Okay, so now we'll go on. I'm going to clean my stamp. Since I'm using it for all 3 of the colors, I'm just using a baby wipe to get it clean. And we'll switch to Fresh Fig. This is a very dark, bold color, and the ink pad is very juicy, so let's ink that up, and then we're going to stamp off. Okay, you can see how dark that is. And then I'm going to overlap just a bit and stamp. Hold it down a minute to get a good image. All right, then we'll take our detailed stamp, ink that up, and go full strength over top. And with this image I found, and I'll show you just a minute, if you don't get the leaf directly over top, it really doesn't make that much of a difference because it's going to be beautiful. But where I try to line up this stamp over the previously stamped image is the stem, and I try to get the stem correct, and then I can pretty much tell that the rest of it's going to be fine too. Okay, so now I've really got to clean this one off, and I'm going to use some of my Stampin' Mist off camera so that I don't spray my project. And then same for the solid, and the next color I'm going to use is Old Olive. Okay, so let's get that ready. All right, solid image first. Stamp off. And then stamp on to the cardstock. And then we'll get the outline image. I'm going to test it to make sure it's clean. You can always stamp off on another piece of paper to make sure there's not any residue from the previous color ink. And then I'm going to ink this up. And go over top, trying to line up the stems. And that's good. Okay, so that's ready to go. Let's stamp our sentiment. I just have a sweet little sentiment that says a note of thanks. And I'm going to use Fresh Fig. And ink that up. And I'm going to stamp over here and leave some extra on both sides of it, because what I want to do is just take my paper snips and just cut a little V to make a banner in. Like that. And then I'm going to go over top of those stems and just apply that sentiment. Just like that. And now I have a tiny bow that is tied with this sheer ribbon 1/8 inch wide in Fresh Fig. And I've already have it tied, and I've got it adhered to a mini glue dot. And I'll just pull that up and attach it right there on the bottom. And now we're ready to finish the card. So let's get our card base back in. And that's going to go over top, just like that. So let me put some adhesive in the four corners. This is a strong adhesive, so you don't need a whole lot. And trying to center it equally, just like that. And there we have our finished card. Okay, I hope you will give that a try. That two-step stamping is really fun, especially when you just use the same image with different colors, and you'll end up with a beautiful card. So take care. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.